Oh, and you think Shedeur just happened to know what?
No. I'm not.
When the shot
I'm not
was
telling you what
gonna
I
be-
think. I will tell you what I think.
You think he pre-planned that to get his face on camera?
If Shedeur Sanders' reaction to the kicker was actually real, as you guys can see, Shedeur Sanders dapping up the kicker, and people are saying he was doing it for them. I'm going to play this video clip and let you guys hear Browns insider Tony Rizzo speak out about this situation, and then I'll give you guys my thoughts after.
The Browns, they didn't let him go against the ones the whole time in training camp. There has to be a reason for this. And the only thing I can come up with is that he's not putting the work in off the field.
Shedeur Sanders' name has become more of a target than a headline lately. Every move he makes, every action he takes, is twisted into fuel for critics who seem determined to spread hate. Recently, Shedeur went over to talk to Andre Szmyt after his unfortunate mishap in the game. A simple moment of sportsmanship. But instead of appreciating the gesture, the Browns' agenda-driven machine is now spinning it into something else entirely. They're pushing the idea that it was all pre-planned, staged just to keep Shedeur in the spotlight. Seriously? The hate for Shedeur Sanders is getting out of control, and it feels like no matter what he does, someone is always ready to tear it down.
I want everyone to consider the source here. I'm not in the building. I don't know what the deal is. I'm a fan. I'm just looking at this from the outside looking in, and there's got to be something to it. There got to be.
There was one.
Consoling a teammate? That's not good, right?
I give Shedeur a little bit of advice.
Rizzo didn't hold back when he addressed this so-called controversy. He went all in, calling out the ridiculousness of labeling Shedeur's actions as some kind of staged performance. Rizzo made it clear that this is nothing more than an agenda, completely detached from reality. He openly questioned the credibility of the story, pointing out that not a single person from within the Browns' locker room has ever said anything about it. Because there is no source, and then he hit the nail on the head. Since when did consoling a teammate become something wrong? The fact that people are twisting a moment of genuine support into negativity just proves one thing. The hate against Shedeur Sanders is not only real, it's relentless. And he's absolutely right, the hate is real. But there's another layer to this that can't be ignored, and it's uglier than most want to admit. A lot of this agenda being pushed against Shedeur Sanders isn't just about football, it's about race. We've seen it time and time again in the NFL. When a young black quarterback shows confidence, leadership, or even just gets attention, critics twist it into arrogance, drama, or selfishness. Now, with Shedeur, it's no different. Team management and certain media voices are feeding this constant negativity, making sure headlines stay against him, so his climb within the Browns becomes harder than it should be. The irony is, the owners actually want Shedeur in the lineup earlier.
I tend to think by Thanksgiving, he'll just potentially be the best quarterback they have, and the fans will be clamoring for him because it's not a very good team and they'll be losing games.
All of this adds even more weight to the argument, because here we are again. Shedeur Sanders pushed down to third-string quarterback. It's no coincidence. The very same management that's fueling these smear campaigns is the one making sure he stays buried on the depth chart. Against the Baltimore Ravens, the young quarterback who was once hailed as the future of the franchise now finds himself relegated to the emergency QB list, watching from the sidelines while his potential goes untapped. And the real shock? The decision to place Joe Flacco, a veteran clearly past his prime, above Sanders in games that matter.
All right, so as you guys can see, we are here for Shedeur Sanders, and we see he's still third string going into week 2 of the Baltimore Ravens matchup.
This isn't just about football anymore. It's about politics, control, and narrative shaping. Management's every move seems designed to box Shedeur in, to keep him from proving himself, all while the hate machine runs in the background to justify those decisions. And yet, the biggest question still looms. Will Shedeur even touch the field in Week 3? No one has that answer. What we do know is that his future in Cleveland feels more uncertain by the day, and the tension surrounding his name is only getting louder. And now the noise isn't just coming from management or the media. It's spreading everywhere. Fans and analysts alike are starting to question the Browns' decision, and the voices calling for Shedeur Sanders' release are only growing louder. The reality is simple. Shedeur's stock is high, and his market value is undeniable. Reports are already circulating that multiple teams would jump at the chance to bring him in, seeing the raw talent and potential that Cleveland seems determined to sideline.
You trade Shedeur Sanders. You clearly are not sold on him right now. You're not sold on the progress that he's making, even though you're saying, hey, we're happy with where he's at.
I'm going to be livid if it goes down, by the way.
Journalists, too, are pressing harder, openly questioning why the Browns are holding on to a player they refuse to properly utilize. It's becoming harder to justify keeping him chained to the bench while expectations continue to mount. Fans are restless, frustrated by the politics surrounding the team, and many are beginning to believe that the best solution for both Shedeur Sanders and the Browns is a clean break. And if he shows flashes of what he's capable of, even if it's not perfect, Cowherd is confident fans will immediately rally behind him, demanding he stay the starter moving forward. In his view, Shedeur Sanders is destined to grab the spotlight, no matter how hard people try to keep him in the shadows.
If you believe, and many do, that the owner, he's the one that wanted Manziel, he's the one that did Deshaun Watson, he's the one that wanted Baker Mayfield. This is an ownership group that likes headlines at quarterbacks.
Now, you might ask yourself, why is Jimmy Haslam pushing so hard to get Shedeur Sanders on the field? The reason is pretty clear. Shedeur has become a magnet for attention and excitement. His charisma, swagger, and growing fan base have already made him one of the most talked-about names in the league. Right now, he's the spark that keeps Cleveland in the conversation. Let's face it, the Browns haven't exactly been headline material on their own. After last season, they were almost forgotten. But Shedeur's presence changed that. He's brought hype, energy, and a wave of attention that money can't buy. For the franchise, that translates to ratings, viewership, and revenue. And in today's NFL, ratings equal power. Haslam and the ownership know this. They see Shedeur not just as a quarterback, but as a brand that can elevate the entire organization. That's why the push to see him play isn't just about football. It's about business, influence, and keeping the Browns relevant on the biggest stage. Jimmy Haslam understands better than anyone that Shedeur Sanders is the key to putting the Browns back in the national spotlight. He knows this is the one player who can make Cleveland the center of NFL conversation again, and that's why he's not budging. The front office, fully aware of Shedeur's value, has made it clear they're not letting him go anywhere. Of course, that hasn't stopped the chatter. Rumors are flying that multiple teams are eager to take a shot at bringing Shedeur in. But Haslam isn't even considering those offers. Still, the tension around this standoff keeps growing. The longer Shedeur remains stuck on the bench, the more people will question the Browns' handling of him. And the more teams show interest, the louder those calls will get. It's only a matter of time before this situation reaches a boiling point.
Good to see you. Oh, we got. Well, we got to do some trading. Dion, she's mine. Hey, Dion.
Whether the Browns are winning or losing, the calls for Shedeur to play will only get louder. And once he finally gets his chance, even a glimpse of his potential could shift everything, turning critics into believers and making it impossible to sideline him again. For now, though, Cleveland sits at a crossroads, with its future quarterback caught in the middle of agendas, pressure, and expectations. One thing's for sure, the Shedeur Sanders saga is only just beginning. What do you think, Browns fans? Is this all just a smokescreen by management to keep Shedeur Sanders down? Or is Jimmy Haslam really gearing up to force him onto the field sooner than expected? Should the Browns cut him loose and let him thrive elsewhere? Or is Cleveland the place where he'll finally prove himself? Tell us your thoughts in the comments section. We want to hear what you think about the future of Shedeur Sanders and the Browns.